So Wilson had not been to Niger for many years, since he was a very junior Foreign Service officer, and he was not expert in intelligence. He was not expert in weapons of mass destruction, and he was on the Clinton White House as a national security aide. Why would the CIA send him on that mission? And Armitage said, well, you know, his wife works for the CIA. I said, really? He said, yes, her name is Valerie, and she works in the weapons proliferation division of the CIA. I thought that was an interesting part of the story. It wasn't the lead by any means. It was an incidental thing. It's the kind of thing I write about, how these things happen. And I checked it out. It's all common knowledge now. I made several phone calls. I got what I thought was confirmation from Karl Rove, just a one-sentence confirmation. Yes, he knew that too. And then I called the press person of the CIA, with I had a lot of contact, and he said that yes, he came back after he'd ever heard of her, and he came back and said, yes, she works for the CIA. Told me that, the CIA person. He said that she works for the CIA, but she did not make the suggestion. She just implemented a request that her husband go on position. And of course, there's documents that indicate now that he gave me incorrect information. I put that in the column. And I put both versions of it in the column. And as a matter of fact, there's documents that indicate she had suggested her husband. And then he said, I wish you wouldn't write this. A lot of people, politicians, government officials say not to write it. He said, this is exactly what he said. He says, she probably will never go on an assignment again. He said, but if she ever travels abroad on her own, this might embarrass her if this appears. And that was it. I thought that was a very weak request. If anybody had said that I was endangering intelligence operations, and if I was endangering anybody's life, I wouldn't have written it. If Mr. Tenet, George Tenet, this director of Central Intelligence, who I knew very well, had a good relationship with, and I'm sure he had checked, this PR guy had checked with him, if he had gone on the line with me and said, I really don't want you to write this, I wouldn't have put it in. I thought it was a weak request, and I don't honor that weak request. Subsequent to the publication of the column, I found that it was well known that she worked in the CIA, that she was not involved in any operations, that the so-called cover company was a non-existent company. It wasn't engaged in any operations. She had not been engaged in any operations since she'd been in Europe many years before, that her contribution to Al Gore in the 2000 campaign used her name and the name of the cover company, which supposedly was involved in intelligence operations, but really wasn't, as in the Federal Election Commission report. So I believe there's been the people at the CIA who I've always suspected some of their motives have put out a cover story on this about what a shame this was, but the fact of the matter is that the special prosecutor, Mr. Fitzgerald, who nobody could accuse of insufficient zeal, had found that no crime was committed. Mr. Armitage was not a target, and the requirements under the Intelligence Agents Identity Act would have required that she had been abroad within the past 5 years on a covert operation, and she was not.
Questions?